What's going on, y'all? One Piece chapter 1171. About to react to it. Let's get right into it. Chapter 1171, Ragnir. Okay, let's see what we're about to get into. It seems like this is going to be about the hammer, probably. And we got a cover request by Reverse Kitten. A cat putting cat ears on Zoro. Okay, then. Let's keep going. I almost feel like this should be Nami because, she's the cat burglar. But let's keep going. All right, we got the author note. Mrs. Green Apples, quote unquote, Babel no, Tower of Babel. Okay, I've seen that show. Was a wonderful show. I was deeply moved by the entire venue. The entire venue was used to represent the story. Okay, I like when Oda has these little moments to kind of just let us know about the stuff that he's doing outside of the manga. You know what I'm saying? Because the guy deserves to have a life as well. All right. Anyway, getting into the chapter. If Harold left the castle in that state, and we got Scopper Gaban talking here, he would have brought great calamity to the world. It seems like this is the very direct aftermath of Harold rampaging and Loki stopping him. Continuing on. The wake of the fierce battle at Uest Castle. I had a taste of that hopeless future during the fight. No matter how badly we wounded him, his body kept repairing itself. It's shocking to think something actually stopped him. Did you know this sacred treasure would be that powerful? Ja Rule? No, I actually knew nothing about it. All I know is I get chills down my spine when I imagine what would have happened if Loki hadn't been here today. Yeah, because Harold would have freaking run roughshod on the entire freaking ELBAF community and basically made y'all join the Celestial Dragons as an army, which is basically what Emu is trying to do now in the current story, which I'm going to assume maybe by the end of this chapter, maybe one more, because I keep saying that. We're going to be back to the regular day, and this flashback's going to be over. But anyway, Shanks is thinking to himself, and he's thinking back to Harold, and it says, when I join the God Knights, it'll be a new dawn for Elbaf. Because Shanks knows that at the end of the day, Harold was doing this for a reason. You know what I'm saying? There was always it was always a means to an end. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, now he's flashing back to his own father talking. If you have any wish, simply name it, and it will be within your reach. You've truly endured a miserable, squalid life until now, my poor child. Forget your former life on the surface. The commoners down there don't even count as people. That sounds pretty on brand for St. Garland, because he seems like he's a dick. Not gonna lie. Anyway, now Shanks, his arm is busting, burning. Shanks, hey Shanks, stop it. That's a bad habit. You should never resent the circumstances of your birth. Okay, so what, did Scopper read his mind or something? How do you know what's going on? Why did Harold have to die? He was such a pure soul. If only I had been faster. So Shanks is kind of blaming himself for this. And Scopper's like, it's not your fault. Listen, Shanks, you are here for a reason. Everyone's life has some meaning to it. You just got to hold on. I love that Scopper is really like Shanks' OG like that. You know what I'm saying? That's pretty fire. I can't lie. Especially because, Shanks is the OG to Luffy now. So it's cool to see this. Is this what happens when you love your country too much? Damn, this Loki's crying to himself. You just see Harold. You really just see the bottom half of Harold, but it's pretty much implying that, he's out of here now. This sucks. And Loki's crying. He was a rare ancient giant, enhanced with even more power and an undying body. Those traits made him a true monster. This is Emu yapping right now. And yet he was still killed. Who could have? Is something unforeseen lurking on Elbaf? So basically, Emu don't even know about Loki and that he's a freaking menace, clearly. We should have the Abyss pentagram carved by Harold inspected. That shall not be necessary. It would only result in the death of another knight. Every covenant comes with a price to be paid, even for Mu. And the five Gorosei are kind of just in the throne room looking on to him. He had no qualms about lowering his head to appease humans. All he ever sought was communion with other nations and peoples. Harold was a total aberration. It's interesting that, I mean, it's pretty obvious that Emu's an intelligent person, you know what I'm saying? But really, that's a pretty good read of Harold as a person, to be honest. And yet he was born with the blood of those savage, battle-loving giants. Well, now he's getting into the stereotypes. And had we admitted him into the government flippantly, his very presence might have destroyed it from within. ELBAF should never have known a king of his disposition. Forging a covenant with a cooperative ancient giant like him was an unprecedented opportunity. This disappointing outcome proves that history does not lie. We were always going to be incompatible. Never forget, ELBAF is of the D. Yo. So that's pretty obvious for one. Just looking at Saul, he's got the letter D in his name. But I think what this is saying is that the ancient giants of that time, the Void Century, that basically really founded ELBAF, were probably related to Jaguar D Saul. And so I think what Emu's kind of implying here is that Harold probably was a D. And if Harold was a D, that means Loki was a D. But that means Haruden is a D, maybe? But it's interesting though. This is a really interesting read by Emu here. Basically saying that just off the strength that the ELBAF people were founded by the D clan, or a subsection of the D clan, the giants, ancient giant subsection, that it was never gonna work and be compatible at the end of the day, even if Harold was a little bit different than how most giants were. Even though he wasn't to start. Let's get that out the way. Anyway, Loki, after this, the country will be in disarray. I'm heading out to sea, old timer. I'll take the surviving soldiers with me. What about Harold's final request? Tell the people of ELBAF what happened here. There's no way I can tell them the truth. Just drop it, all of you. Damn, bro. And so, Ja Rule been doing. This makes me want to reread the beginning of ELBAF, and I probably will reread all this as I start making content on this. But it makes me want to reread the beginning of ELBAF just to see what Ja Rule was really saying, feeling, and thinking. To see if there's a little bit of inkling. Same thing with Copper. To see if there's a little bit of inkling, and even Shanks. You know, going back to the arc before this, the Egghead Island arc, when we first briefly kind of looked at ELBAF. I want to see if there's some little snippets in there of what we would have been able to see going forward with Harold, with Loki, etc. There's no way I can tell them the truth. Just drop it, all of you. Don't speak a word of what happened here today. And they didn't. That's why everybody think he's Loki asshole. If we say nothing, who do you think they'll blame for all of this? Ja Rule says. It'll be the same as always. Say I were to become king. Can you see me actually honoring father's ideals? I can only tackle this in my own way. And that's facts. With this ability, I'll settle the regrets of the old man and his soldiers. Loki's on a warpath, yo. Oh man. So this makes me feel like Shanks is gonna be the one that stops him, man. Bro. I honestly don't even really want to see Shanks and Loki fighting like that, to be honest. Don't be stupid, Loki. The world government is a big organization. It won't be as easy as you think. And Scopper and Shanks are just thinking to themselves, ... Something big happened. US Castle was attacked. Your Highness. After that, I set out to sea. Oh, are we back in the present time? After that, I set out to sea. Hajrudin, by the time you guys returned to the island, everyone had already dubbed me Loki, the patricide. And I made no effort to correct that narrative. And Hajrudin didn't even know about this, yo. Why wouldn't they tell Hajrudin about this, yo? Oh man, that's crazy. That's messed up, because that's his dad at the end of the day. But anyway, it's not like I was crazy enough to brag about killing him either. I just didn't want everything he stood for to be dismissed because of how things turned out. With all that in mind, do you really think I should have told the people everything? And Hajrudin is just sitting there like, Rudin, ... Exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point. Because he knows that he's been doing him wrong this whole time, you know what I'm saying? But it's comes from a place of him just not knowing what's been going on this whole time. He's telling the truth, Hasrudin. Scopper finally lets the cat out the bag here. Meanwhile, Hasrudin's whole life view probably would have been changed by this. Get it? And Luffy's just kind of sitting there with the Luffy's actually paying attention and listening face. He's got the empathy face right now. Get it already? I really didn't want to relive all this crap. I'm sad. I'm sad about this. Elder Jarul, always opposed to your execution. I can understand why you chose to keep this secret. Hasrudin is talking right now. Father choosing death in the face of the government's manipulation. The world government has been our enemy all this time. I wonder what did they do to Father. Indeed. And now they've sent more knights to ELBAF, some with deep ties to Harold, Scopper says. Even Loki doesn't know all the details about Harold's dealings in the Holy Land. But Loki left, so did Loki go to the Holy Land? Like, what happened there? We still don't really know what happened when Loki set out to see himself, but hopefully we find out soon. I can fill you in if you want. That won't be necessary for now, Yasan. We need no further reason to protect our country. And everybody's looking. We got all the new warrior pirates looking. We got Zoro looking like brooding in the corner. We got Sanji smoking a cigarette. And the shackles coming off. Yo, Loki's about to go ham, yo. Loki, it seems we both feel the same way about Father. I'm sorry for everything. For the sake of ELBAF, let's make a stand together. And Loki's like, because Loki's never, he was never really a bad person, yo. He was just misunderstood, mistreated. Let me finish the chapter, and then I'll go on a little rant about Loki's character. A good rant. Whoa, that's great, Loki. You can fight now. Luffy, always trying to brighten the mood. I love it. Roar. Crash. Okay, what's going on over here? Whoa, and it's the giant Brook looking skeleton, dream monster, whatever the freak. That's one of the monsters that was rampaging up there. They've got a ton of creatures running wild, Chopper says. Where did they come from? Is that a Draugr? I never thought those were real. This will be a good warm-up, Loki says. Go on ahead. I'll just jump up. What in the world is that? Luffy says. I said that mad goofy. Anyway, what's going on up there? Hurry it up, Hasrudin. Hey, Loki, we admit we prejudged you. When we called you a king-slaying piece of crap. That's crazy. Usopp slander. Hook him up with hockey knots. Hockey knots sounds crazy. I can't lie. But anyway, we're really sorry. But this. Oh yeah. All the giants are like, yeah, we're sorry now. We didn't know that you actually are the savior of ELBAF. But anyway, but this doesn't undo all your other things you've done. Shut up, Hasrudin. You just look like a dickhead right now. But anyway. Shut up and go already. I don't need to hear you guys yap. Loki's a real one, yo. I love Loki, man. This is the best. I can move. It's so freeing. And Chopper is like surprised at the roar, or he's scared about the roar. Scopper's just kind of looking. Hey, Doc, I know you want to take care of me here, but I'm worried about my son up there. Yeah, you make a good point. Be careful, Sanji. And Sanji's got Scopper in his arms and Chopper on the shoulder, and he's skywalking. I've got it. Weren't you two gonna stay behind? What are you still doing here? Loki says as Luffy's on his shoulder. She. I'm dying to fight, you see. Oh, we finally about to get some good stuff right now. Yo, I'm ready. All right, let's show him your power. And Loki jumps up in the air with Ragnar, the big ass hammer, and he about to yo-ho-ho the hell out this freaking thing. Drops it, Niflheim, I can't say this word. Yo, these Nordic words are killing me. Niflheim, I think. And he drops that bitch. Boom, one-shots that thing. A chilling attack. Maybe he one-shots it, but a bunch of energy is like flying off it, or is that ice? No, it's ice. Yo, this is crazy. A chilling attack. And Luffy's shocked. The freaking monster is shocked, apparently. It didn't get one shot, but it's frozen now. break next week. Okay, that's interesting. All right, let me quick rant about Loki's character real quick. Good rant. Man, yo, I feel so bad for this guy. From the day he was born, rejected by all the people that should love him, and the entire townspeople, every person on ELBAF, just built up as a loner. He finally finds some people, some companions that he really loves and wants to follow in Rocks and company. They get executed, or not executed. Well, Rocks really did get executed, but now he doesn't have that anymore. His own father, man, yo, everything is tough here. He has to end his own father, the only man that really kind of looked at him with unconditional love. You know what I'm saying? His own mother didn't. So that's tough. And then having to hold this secret in, knowing you're really the savior of ELBAF this whole time, but being looked at as like a black sheep, black spot on the community. Yo, it takes a lot to just hold that in here. You know what I'm saying? And I love that at the end of this flashback, Loki finally lets that emotion go. You know what I'm saying? And yes, he's being freed by the chains and whatnot and the locks, but it's also like a metaphorical freeing of him, that this is off his chest, off his spirit, and now he can really be the free and great giant that he was meant to be. And I can't wait to see what happens in the next chapter. Now that the flashback is over, I've been waiting to do this tier list of all the flashbacks in One Piece, and so I might do that later today. Actually, I already have the thumbnail made, so after I'm maybe around 8 o'clock tonight, I'll do that. So if you're interested in that, definitely be on the lookout for that. Let me know your thoughts down below. Like the video, subscribe, and have a beautiful day. Thank you.